Castella Park with Castella Gang. I mean, the thumbnail does a lot of the work for me here. I am so excited about this because not only is this a bit of a Christmas treat, as you can tell by the hats they're wearing in the thumbnail, but, well, to be honest, this is a group who I am really excited about. Now, you might already know that I did a song featuring one of the members, ASSUN. We did the music video for Keep Going with her and Otto from Candid. So I'm familiar with ASSUN, and the reason why I got to know her and worked with her is because, in my personal opinion, she's just one of those quintessential examples of someone who actually does rap properly. Now, I know rap is not everyone's cup of tea. This is coffee. I know rap's not everyone's cup of tea, but to be honest, it's something where I think that's because a lot of the time, most of the rap we hear tends to be rather bad. It's like mumble rap, auto-tune rap. So when you hear good rap, it's so uplifting to hear someone who can use a rhythm really well, can do creative and fun lyrics. Now, Castella Park is a collaboration between ASSUN and a few of her friends who, I've got to be honest, from everything I've heard thus far, they are really good rappers, but I think this is a much more casual, fun, easygoing project. I think the music video is definitely pointing that way. There's 4 members, but it's only 2 minutes and 37 long, so this is a short video. I'm excited about this, but I feel like my Christmas present is going to be very short-lived, and I'm going to have to play with my Christmas present over and over again this year. Anyway, we're going to get into this. I literally don't know what to expect. I've avoided all spoilers. The audio came out last night. I avoided listening to it. I haven't seen the video because I wanted to check it out. Here we are. Let's check it out together. I'm really excited for this. I have no idea what this is going to be. Let's go. Sounds more like Halloween music.
嫌味なアンポンタンにぶち込むバンバンバンうちらはカステラギャングリップスティック財布全部リュックの中消えてく No shit No shit でしまった場所を忘れて日曜日 Bitch sorry
Nice flip up in the rhythm There we go
I feel the wind that can leave me fell there Jingle bell jingle bell だからもっとくれ
Again, love how they're changing up the rhythm. They give you enough time to take in the rhythm, then sort of flip it up, keep it interesting. And this hook.
Merry Christmas と夜投げた重い靴下の中丸 A スキルアップビューティープラス1取る通称まるで売り2つわだかまりただからいいラーメン食べて忘れろや仲間たちと気づけばノーマルガラガラにまだ早いせーなややとしよう
Love the change in her voice there
車も全然走ってね働きますせなら夜の残りカスカステラ髪こびりつく残りカス上がる回るはまるからも良いどれども舵取れみんな踊れパワハラセクハラにも打ち勝ちますメリークリスマスますますする活躍やカステラギャンカステラ
Love the way she rolled her syllables in a couple of lines there I would love to be driving along and just come across it Wow Now, Castella Park, wasn't your last song called Big Love? I feel like the love has been replaced. They come from Big Love to I'm gonna shoot you. Oh man, that is a quick turn. That is a quick change from one thing to the next. All right, let's address a couple of things. All right, first of all, I'm not super familiar with Castella Park, all their members. I'm obviously familiar with ASSUN. I've heard all of her songs thus far. I'm very familiar, obviously, with her style of rapping, having worked with her. She's very good at adjusting her style. Now, this to me is the quintessential example of how to do, I mean, it's a very short song, but they get 4 verses in. They're quite short verses, but each one of them does really well. Now, as I said at the beginning, that thing that you want to be really good with that makes a rap rhythm really enjoyable is when it's kind of like, actually, it's not overly different from a guitar solo. Obviously, rap is more rhythm based. But it's like the idea is you want it to be something where people can follow it. Just if you're just sort of like spewing out words at 1,000 syllables a second, then it's not so much fun to listen to unless that's been built up to. You start at a very easy to follow pace and you build it up. You add some little, maybe some unexpected changes to the rhythm, but they're changes to the rhythm that themselves are interesting, but again, don't throw you off. They keep you sort of on that feeling of what's going on. You can compare it to a guitar solo, you can compare it to a drum solo. It's that feeling of just sort of like creating something where it's interesting for the listener, but it keeps moving along. And each of the members had a slightly different take on the beat, which I really liked. I felt it was nice as well. Like the first girl who was up to rap, she fucking glasses. She was great. She starts off very slow and then she speeds up halfway through, gives it a little bit of a little bit more pace. Then the second girl who comes up, she builds. The second girl, she builds up really well on what the first one did. So she takes that and then she moves it on. She immediately changes the rhythm. So she's staying at a similar pace, but she changes the rhythm, carries on. Then you get the hook, kind of resets you. ASSUN comes back in, and when ASSUN comes in with the third verse, you notice that she then goes for a different register. She sort of like those like quotation bits where she's talking a bit like that, and she's like expressing herself like it's spoken. So she's now moving slightly above the rhythmic to focusing more on like doing almost like a spoken word style thing, where now the interest is being elevated by having that extra little bit of personality from the sort of sounds like she's quoting, she's talking. And then the last girl, she came in and she just sort of basically took a very high speed approach to the rhythm. So now we've had everything sort of happen. She's in there, she's given those little multi-syllable runs where she's going really quickly and sort of sends something over the verse like that, where it's just like a little quick roll of the syllables, which is actually something, and this is really important to remember, in Japanese that's much easier to do. Like those quick syllable runs are really easy to do because of the way that the language, if you're familiar or not, Japanese really isn't made out of letters, it's made out of basically syllables. And it's spoken in a rhythm, even if it doesn't sound like that necessarily. You pull it apart, it's spoken in a rhythm. Every time you see one of those Japanese hiragana characters, it's actually 2 English letters most of the time. So you look at a Yamaha bike, Yamaha. That's 3 letters in Japanese. So everything has a rhythm. So doing those little multi-syllable runs is really easy in Japanese, and Japanese naturally is a really rhythmic language. So she does a great job of taking that to the next level and really adding a nice final flourish of little rhythmic interest there, doing some of the fastest deliveries on the song. So I love it. Each one of them adds something to what the other one's done. And even, like I say, even the girl with the amazing glasses who went first, even though she went first and therefore she's laying the groundwork, even in her verse, she had that development. She sped up during the course of her own verse. So I feel like each one of them added something to it, which was amazing. They have fantastic trigger discipline. And then we add the video. The video is so fun. I know before this, they announced this, they said, we're going to just make a music video. We're going to have some fun making a music video. And so I knew it was going to be very homemade, but it actually comes off really well. It's got a really good vibe to it. It's really punchy. It's fun. The setting they've picked is brilliant. I can take a guess where this might be, because there are some convenient locations near to where ASSUN works, where I think this might have been filmed, which would be very quiet at night. But I love it. I love the way they've done that. I love the fact they've got the slightly gangster rap thing in there, but it's very tongue in cheek. But they got like the little toy guns and the Christmas hats. The Christmas aspect was really interesting because obviously they pull a lot of the Christmas factors in there. Although the song doesn't necessarily need to be a Christmas song. That seems to only be because it's come out on Christmas. But then you get little things like you get like the sleigh bell sound, and there's a couple of little lines of music, little musical phrases in there, which are clearly supposed to sound a little jingle bellsy. Which, so yeah, they clearly added a little bit of a Christmas feel to it. So it's weird. It's like gangster Christmas themed, but I think it worked really well. And plus they did the one thing, I think rap as a general all around the world is starting to notice this, which is that it's okay to do a short song. It used to be like a standard rap song would have to be 3 verses, each verse would have to be really developed, and so rap songs would tend to be like 5 or 6 minutes a pop. But it's nice to see like people doing songs like this where there's a lot going on quite quickly. You're shortening the verses, but you're really considering the content of the verses really well. The chorus is just kind of like it's just like shouting the name of the song, but it works really well. And I'm sure they said something about caramel in there, which slightly freaks me out. I'm not going to lie. I have a slightly freaked out feeling that they might have been talking about caramel at some point. Oh, camera. I think it's camera. See? Okay. That's the perfect frame. All right. I love this. Castella Park. Brilliant. Happy Christmas to everyone watching this at home. Happy Christmas to Castella Park. I hope you enjoyed this. Do go check it out. Get in the comments. Tell us what you thought. I hope you had fun with this. It was a lot of fun. Plus, it had some good quality, thought-out rap verses in it. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.